All right, welcome to the What About Cynics podcast February edition. Shot like mid-March, but hey, we remember the month just as well. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, that is Harvey,
Hello.
and let's get down to business. So, Lego Movie was the hit of February, and from that has spawned the announcement of the Minecraft movie. Immediate opinions on the Minecraft movie.
Well, I thought they were, but wasn't there that wasn't there that guy who was making a Minecraft movie? Did you
Well,
see
like an
that?
indie one.
Yeah, it was an indie one.
Was it kickstarted?
He released a trailer. Yes, it
Of
was.
course it was. All right.
And
No, I haven't heard about this,
no,
but I
but
can I can guess to a T how it went down.
I'll tell you who it was. It was the guy who made the fucking video game High School thing. So, I mean,
Oh
obviously,
God.
yeah, so like everything's really competently made, but it's all sort of it feels
Soulless.
like it's like he's a leech on people like this, so I'm gonna make this into a movie. It's
He's like
just
Smosh. In
yeah,
fact, I
it's
think he
like
is
yeah,
Smosh, isn't he? Or he's
yeah,
related to.
sort of. It's one of those people who is clearly very good at like CGI and editing stuff and getting a team together because he's a very social guy, but like lacks any real creativity or interesting thing to say. So it's sort of
Well,
like yeah, it's just one of those annoying things. It's sort of like Michael Bay, really. I mean, it's sort of that thing where Michael Bay has loads of resources at his disposal, but doesn't really do anything interesting with them. So it's like, all right, whatever. But but yeah, he was kickstarted, and Mosh, what's his name? He's not Mosh.
Smosh is the
Mojang,
video. Oh,
Mojang,
Mojang, yeah,
whatever his name
is
was. So he was like, he didn't say
Notch.
anything. Notch, that was it. So he didn't say anything, and then randomly shut it down. And then it was announced that a Minecraft movie was being made. It was like, oh,
Oh
that's why
damn, did they shut it down? Oh, that's kind of. I
they
don't
shut
like
they
that
shut
guy, so that makes
they
me
shut it down for
happy.
that reason.
And I don't like
Oh, but
kickstarted
I
movies
think he's
overly.
involved in it because
Oh
I think
really?
Notch is a nice bloke and was like, sorry about that. Do you want to come and work on it? I mean, it's a bit weird because I've only
So
heard
does he
that.
just get to keep that money now? The kickstarted
I'm not
money.
sure if the Kickstarter went through. I mean,
Oh, fair
oh,
have
he might
Or it
not
might
hit
have got
his
closed down
thing.
before it
Yeah.
went through.
Well, yeah, because like it would have been several million, and it
Yeah,
probably takes
exactly.
a while to get several million. I mean, personally, I don't know who's that interested in a fucking Minecraft movie. Like,
I know.
it's one of those things that's sort of Minecraft is. I guess no, actually, so I can't say that because it'll be the same as what I could have said about the Lego movie. Just that you could make anything into like you that Minecraft has like no personality. It's
Well,
not
no,
like
it's a set
Watch.
of building blocks, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so is
it's not like
Lego
Watch
and
Dogs or
the
something where you've
yeah.
got to like you've got to talk about something like surveillance. It's just Minecraft could be any type of movie, so that makes it a lot less interesting. I think
Yeah.
because you're not
Though it's got like the
building.
perfect kind of castaway start off, just like guy wakes up in middle of forest, builds a house. But where do you go from there?
You turn it off and regret your purchase, as I did.
Yeah. Yeah, me too actually. To begin with, until they added mods. Maybe that's what'll happen, then he'll just build a nuclear reactor in like his hut. Because that's what you can do now.
Yeah. But I think yeah, I mean, so
I mean,
you were
like
talking
if
about the Lego
it's
movie. I'm sure you're gonna make a sort of what they'll probably do with it, make it all meta,
well, I
stuff like
don't
that.
know. Can you even make the Minecraft movie that meta? Because you can. I mean, I won't go into the spoilers of the Lego movie, but like the Lego movie does
I
a
think we're
really
gonna
good
have
job
to.
of the kind of internal debate that Lego brings up, but you never really have that in Minecraft
Yeah, because well, yeah,
because
the whole
because
point about
it's
the Lego
because it's really
movies.
open ended. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah, no one's sending you out like Minecraft packs to make
yeah, because
specific things.
loosely in Lego, like the free will narrative is that there are instructions and it's whether you follow them or not. But like in Minecraft, there's never any instructions. You're literally placed in a field, and you can't. You know, that's tabula rasa. You can't really develop that. Like I said, I assume it'll just be about a guy or a couple of people who are like fending off creepers and stuff, and maybe trying to get to the Ender portal because that's the new. Because there's actually an end to Minecraft now. That's one thing they've
Yeah,
added in.
yeah,
So I
he
mean, I guess that's what it's about.
well, it's only like pre-production, and
Well, yeah,
t- uh,
the,
to be honest, I don't think it will get made.
I would reckon it'll be like the Warcraft movie. Though that's apparently got Colin Firth as head
Well,
actor now.
that's probably going to go through, but because that's actually got a director on it. That's got what's his name? I forget his name. It's David Bowie's son who made Moon and Source Code.
Something. He's got a really like common name now, hasn't he? It's like
It's not Bowie. I'd remember it other than that.
Well, no, because he was born Ziggy Bowie, but he changed his name to something really common like Tim Smith or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. But
Duncan Jones.
Duncan Jones. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a director, and so obviously like that'll push through. But I can't imagine anyone's really like fucking putting their career on the line to produce a big budget Minecraft movie. I don't think anyone really gives a shit.
I mean, you know, if it can do what the Lego movie did and make a really interesting, really funny, like CGI, well, I'm assuming it'll be animated and kid-based because it's a video game and that's what video games are, right? Like in the popular perception.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they can make a different, obviously, but like similarly funny Lego movie, then sure, whatever. But I don't think they can.
I have a feeling it probably won't be funny.
No.
It'll probably be. Well, remember also Lego had like that sort of Lego was only really made funny by the Lego video games because they sort of chose that tone. So when they went with the movie, they sort of carried on that. Whereas like Minecraft, it sort of has to build its own like what its tone's going to be. And yes, they might go for comedy, but more likely they'll probably go for really serious like Night in the Woods.
Oh my god, like that would be hilarious.
But yeah, just it's like well, I don't give a shit.
Like that Penny Arcade comic, like day 1 I was a survivor. Day 2, I was a conqueror. Oh man. Yeah, I do. Then again, I mean, I guess Lego had more to lose. Maybe Notch is willing to take some like crazy risks because you know he.
I think you know when was the last time Notch made a game? Minecraft.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I don't know, but it's just a very surreal thing that we've hit the stage where an indie game is having a feature film made of it.
I think it's Warner Brothers. I think is the people behind it.
Probably. I didn't realize that Warner Brothers is like the first, like Lego Movie is like the first animated hit Warner Brothers has had in forever. I didn't realize that they quite sucked at the animated feature film game.
What else do they make?
Well, exactly. Like nothing much that I can think of. Space Jam.
Maybe. Well, that apparently it's going to be Space Jam 2.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. Until that's confirmed, I refuse to believe.
Which other like washed up athlete can we use?
It's going to be LeBron, isn't it? I thought he got injured the other day. It's time for LeBron.
Shit. Well, as long as he's
James.
a better actor than Michael Jordan, because having watched that again, Michael Jordan really is terrible in that film.
True. You should get Shaq, man. Shaq was good in the Lego Movie. Shaq was good in Shaq Fu. You need to get him on board.
I think Shaq's had his time. We should let him go now.
Fine.
I'm trying to think. Imagine if it was Beckham.
That would be him, like Beckham too.
Yeah,
Lego,
just him going like,
going
"Hello, Bugs Bunny."
They know in America now, don't they? He's in LA Galaxy, isn't he?
No, he left that. I think he's retired.
Oh,
LA
really?
Galaxy was just such a like soccer. Like he was like, I'm gonna make soccer big in America, and it just wasn't because
American football.
Well, people, like whatever sport your like dad watches, you just watch that sport.
Yeah.
But not that I know enough about sport. I just know that David Beckham wasn't the sort of like big seller that he was primed to be, and that's why he still does like Sainsbury's like tokens for school and sports for school kind of things, because that's what he's good at. He's not good at like international.
He's a British icon. He's not an American football icon.
Exactly.
So the Minecraft movie. Like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The chances of it getting made are probably pretty minimal. I'm sure someone will realize along the way that, like, wait a second, this isn't a story.
Yeah, because the Minecraft movie must be a bunch of people. They sit in a room and they just say, "What do you want to do?"
They get really bitchy because someone built a house next to their house, and like, oh my god, you can't build that house over there. My area.
Exactly. Whereas, like, at least even the Hitman movie, it was like, so we've got a guy who's a hitman. He needs to kill people, and we need to make a political thriller out of it. At least there's a starting point. But Minecraft is, what do you want to do?
And they ruined it by saying he can have a love interest.
Yes, exactly. God, I watched that recently.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't even as funny as I thought it would be on the second viewing. It was just crap.
Yeah, it's just really quite sad. I love it in the middle. I love it when he goes into that little garden and they're playing the Hitman game. It's like
so fucking lame.
So world breaking.
Oh shit! Wasn't Paul Walker supposed to be the next Agent 47?
Oh shit, yeah, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was. Fuck.
Oh well.
Well, it's cursed. I mean,
Exactly.
what did Timothy Oliphant do after Hitman? It's gone.
He bought a house, but he I know apparently he only made Hitman in order to buy his new house.
Oh,
That's why he said in an interview why he wouldn't be returning. It was like,
because he has
oh,
the house.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
But
I
eventually,
would distance myself from that movie as well,
so
creatively.
so would I.
I mean, I can't deny that I was in it and got money off of it, but I might as well say that my soul wasn't in it.
I funded it, which annoys me. I probably shouldn't have done that. But so what else we got? We got Arkham Knight.
Yeah, well,
That's the
yeah.
little.
We can close with Minecraft with Lego Movie good, Minecraft movie probably bad. But yeah, Arkham Knight looks really good. Like, I'm glad we can all. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't buy Origins and I didn't have to defend Origins and I don't have to be one of those guys who now can admit that Origins was terrible.
Yeah,
Because now
true.
we're getting an actual Rocksteady Arkham game sequel.
Well, I'm a bit worried by this because I assumed that they just left the thing behind, but obviously they went back to the drawing board and were trying to think how to make it interesting, which is what you should do. But the fact that halfway in between that, another game was released, it does seem like Arkham series might become like the new COD,
Well, no, they
like
said
to
this
a
is
lesser
it
extent.
for them. I mean, obviously, like the hacks who made Origins can come back and do it if they want, but Rocksteady have said that it's a trilogy for them, and
Oh,
this
okay,
is it.
that's fine. I was
Which
worried that
is
they'd be
yeah.
like the Infinity Ward, and the other company would be like the Blackgate would be like no, they're
No,
not Blackgate.
no,
They'd be
Rocksteady.
like Treyarch and something.
Blackgate is the prison.
Yeah, no, I was thinking.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think for them, I mean, maybe I'm personifying Rocksteady in a way that they don't have, but they seem to be pretty much dedicated to making stuff that's actually good.
That's good. Oh,
And I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you've seen the trailer to Arkham Knight.
I
I
have. It
think
was a nice CG
yeah,
trailer.
I think it looks really
Had the
good.
gun.
Have you seen
One thing.
actually
Oh, go on.
to link the two? Have you seen the Arkham Knight trailer to the music of Batman's song in the Lego Movie, like the dark and broody one?
No, that does sound
It's
funny though.
so good.
Have you seen shit another thing? You know a little thing about Arkham Knight. It is next gen only,
Oh, excellent! Finally,
which is pretty interesting. So it is just them saying we're not gonna like compromise by having a cross generation thing. They're going straight in, which is
well,
pretty.
to be fair,
But
by the
not
time it
actually.
comes
It's
out,
not
it will
that
have been
risky.
like a year and a half, a year or two.
True. I mean, it's a risky business. It's a riskier business strategy than they could have done because
Sure.
most people will create cost gen just so they can have as many sales as possible. So I respect that. At least they're going balls to the wall straight in.
It was probably one of the sign-up clauses. They were probably like, you can't whore out this game, and we
Yeah.
want to make a next generation game, not a cross generation game.
Ah, true.
I mean, like looking at it, like I like the fact the Joker's not coming back. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't
that's
feel
cool.
that's a spoiler at this point.
Yeah, well, good. I mean, although he was alive apparently in the credits of Arkham City,
Well, whatever. It's
but yeah,
irrespective.
I
He's
think
dead. I mean,
yeah,
you've got to let
Joker's
other
gone.
like when the Joker is involved, every other villain pales. And I like specifically that the plot of Arkham Knight appears to be the villains of of Gotham coping without the Joker
Yeah,
and
and
being
also
more organized because of it. I think
it's
that's a nice.
it's a new they've created someone original, haven't they? The Arkham Knight is the
Oh,
actual
the Arkham Knight.
antagonist,
Yeah, then Arkham Knight is an antagonist. Yeah,
which is quite cool.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if it's a pre-existing character who is the Arkham Knight, or whether it is a new character entirely. I've also heard that apparently Scarecrow is going to be one of the main villains, and as you know, I love Scarecrow, so that
That's
makes me
true.
happy.
Well, Two-Face and Penguin seem to
Yeah,
have come
they're in
back,
the trailer.
so we can have Troy Barker and Nolan North, the two most prominent voice actors, continuing to have work.
Nolan North is everywhere. It's amazing.
I think Troy Baker's more everywhere now,
I really
but
should.
Troy Baker's better. He's a better dramatic actor, at least.
Are those guys going to be in I Know That Voice? Like the
Anyway,
John DiMaggio documentary about voice acting? Because they really do are like they definitely have the same kind of type of work as John DiMaggio, just being in everything.
are they? I know that voice. Like they're pretty. I think they're a bit too. I thought that thing was going to be about like people that you wouldn't really notice or know the name of.
No, Billy West and John DiMaggio are the people behind it.
Oh shit, it might be.
Because I think Nolan North fits that perfectly. Like he's every voice.
Sure. Although Troy Baker wouldn't so much because Troy Baker actually does a different accent for everything he does.
Mm.
so you wouldn't know that voice. And if you
True.
did, it means he's not doing his job very well.
I only found out the other day that Jean DiMaggio is Marcus Phoenix. I still
You
didn't
didn't
play the
know
Gears
that?
of War games. I had no concept of that.
Oh shit! Yeah, you can immediately tell because John DiMaggio does like aside from like the black woman voice he does, where it's all like over the top. Everything apart from that is just
Yeah,
like a
just like quite
just
a
a heavy drinker.
deep, hilarious
Man. And he
tone.
puts so much feeling into fucking Marcus Phoenix's.
That was good.
But yeah, exciting that it's next gen only.
Yeah, and I like the. I mean, obviously the PC delay will be forever, but we've come to, like an abused spouse, I've come to accept that nothing will ever change.
Well, you should just buy one of the consoles, Aaron. Just get
But
over it. Your PC might not be able to play the next Arkham game. Might play
oh,
like shit.
don't
Remember?
say it. Don't say that.
I think. Well, you've had it for like what, 4 years?
Free?
I think it might be coming to the end of
Oh,
its
Jesus, that's
end of its
depressing.
tether soon.
But yeah, I mean, well, I tell you what, if I do need to buy a new PC to play Arkham Knight, then hello PS4. I'm willing to compromise my principles when they cost me more.
That makes sense. Like, what will it be like by the end of next year? Probably about under 400. Like that's
Hopefully I'll
pretty
be
good.
earning by then. Like hopefully owning a PS4 won't be that much of a commitment.
We
Rather
won't be
than,
spending. It won't be spending all of your Christmas money.
ah, Daddy, I require a new PS4.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I don't know. It makes it's one of those things because I'd kind of like I think Arkham City and Arkham Asylum are some of the best Batman translations. Period. Like including the Nolan films.
Well, they do
And
that. They do a very like nice blend of dark plus putting in all the villains and making it a bit campy, which
yeah, I mean Batman
Nolan
is
couldn't really do, but
yeah.
in a video game kind of works, and also you can
It's like
chuck
the
in a lot
animated
of
series, and I mean
yeah.
it's even got Kevin Conroy. I mean it's like a successor, but it's got that's one thing people have been saying that Arkham Knight looks a bit more Nolan-y, and I guess it does kind of, but I mean I don't really. You got to mix it up stylistically.
Well, and yeah, and the thing is, it's not like it's gonna suddenly like sort of try and be like a Nolan movie because they've obviously proven that their own style works since they've
Yeah.
had two very popular games before it, and Nolan hasn't made a Batman film since before Arkham City, so there'd be no reason to
Yeah, well, they're not
make
trying
it
to ape it, and I mean that's the
yeah.
thing. I mean, like if you look at the character designs, and they're all very clearly comic centric. Like Two-Face especially looks
Well, he's wearing
exactly.
a
He's
full
not
white
like a kind
suit.
of Aaron Eckhart pastiche. He is
Yeah.
wearing the half-burnt suit.
Which Aaron
Penguin
Eckhart
looks good as
sort of
well.
did.
I always like it when they make the villains look more obviously grubby rather than like just here like like in the Scooby Doo thing where he's like wearing a top hat and shit.
Yeah, but like
And,
this
like
time he's just got
little
his shirt
braces.
undone, or like
Yeah.
sleeves rolled
He's
up.
a crime
Just
boss.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, no, I
what
mean,
was
I think, I mean, if anything, I think that Batman probably has more of a future in games at the moment. It feels like than in Man of Steel 2.
definitely.
I'm
And
looking
the good
much more
thing
forward
about
to it.
video games is like you can structure it more like a TV show, so you can do like what they did with the animated series. You can have like him running into like 10 different villains,
Yeah,
whereas in a film it's got to be
yeah, because
you know
Batman is meant to be told in an episodic format. Like
yeah.
he's meant to fight a villain at a time, not three villains of gang. Well, I mean, for villains all gang up, but it's not supposed to be like in like an hour and a half. He's supposed to fight like 3 people, which is probably
Okay.
where Dark Knight Rises fell down a bit.
And where Spider-Man 2 will continue to fall down because
Jesus,
it was
I
never
can't believe they
good.
want to make one of those a year. That's amazing.
I
Like
know.
who's really asking for a like Andrew Garfield versus Sinister Six movie?
No one. I'm amazed people actually like them. I don't get it.
It's because
But
people like Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man is a really good character, but
yeah, he is. But but it's still a shit version of it.
yeah,
It's just
I know.
it's just so standard. And also oh god, I can't even be fucking bothered to think about it. It was
It
just
shouldn't.
so
It shouldn't darken these
no.
doors.
It shouldn't darken this uplifting discussion. Oh fuck! Right. So do you want to watch? No, Guardians of the Galaxy. I know you want to suck its little dick.
Oh my
A
god,
good
I
moment.
think I don't know. I'm really like I obviously we've known for like a year or maybe even 2 years now that they're making it, but just
Yeah.
seeing that trailer and seeing it all being made it so much more real that they are actually making the cosmic verse into a film. It's just very
I
surreal.
didn't know it was going to be a like sort of space adventure bit of action comedy. That seems like the perfect genre. I thought they'd play it a bit more straight, and actually having seen it being a bit more funny, that makes sense.
Yes, I mean, like
But
when
they'd
you
be
look
good
at
with
like
it.
John C. Riley being their version of Agent Coulson and stuff, like no, it was always going to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not always. They could have done it serious, but it wouldn't have been as good. And yeah, it's definitely going to be just quite hilarious, I guess.
I
I
think it's a
think.
shame now that Rocket Raccoon isn't a London Cockney. I would
Yeah,
have preferred Jason Statham as Rocket Raccoon than Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper's good, but Rocket Raccoon seems a bit too like charming now. I want
yeah, I
to sort
agree.
of like,
I
oh,
think
you fucking cunt,
I will
Groot.
miss the days where we were going to have a live action Cockney Rocket Raccoon.
That would have been.
I don't know. I think
Well,
he'll probably be more relatable in this way. Like he can be like a cute mascot rather than a hard talking marine.
he seems like a fucking psychopath in like the
He
little
is.
trailer they showed. Good, that's all right. Well,
But I mean,
I
I
didn't.
guess he's with Bradley Cooper in it. He'll be like a kind of slick psychopath.
True. And the guy that played Emmett in Lego Movie is the main character. He's from Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, Chris
He's
Pratt, isn't it?
Star Lord, yeah, whatever
Yeah.
his name is. Yeah,
Park.
but
Have you actually watched Parks and Rec?
it's alright.
Fair enough.
It's got like 2 good seasons, and then it becomes shitty ass. But I said that about Archer, and you disagree, so who knows?
Yeah. Well, maybe your attention span is 2 seasons.
Maybe I just don't know anything.
But yeah, I mean, I like what they're doing with all the, there are different people. Like the Pursuer is in there. Like that's one thing I like. Someone pointed this out that like 4 of the characters in Guardians of the Galaxy have "the" as their middle name. You've
Jesus.
got people like the Pursuer and the Judgment and the Collector and stuff.
I have no idea who any of these people are.
Well, exactly. It's like, but it's to be fair, like I mean, I read comics and even I barely know who some of these people are. Like this is I think they're just doing it because they wanted to see how obscure they could go into their character archive and still make money,
Yeah.
as long as they just advertised it well and like made it look good, and then put the Avengers on it.
Well,
And
if I mean, this is already like the biggest risk they probably ever done, so they may as well make it as
yeah,
risky as
since
possible.
since
just to see-
Iron Man 1, basically, this is
Yeah.
like. I guess that maybe they're bored. Maybe they're like, oh, everything we've released is liquid gold. Let's put John C. Reilly at the head of Avengers 2. But I mean, yeah, I mean, either Batista and Vin Diesel, even those guys look pretty good. I mean, they've got. I didn't realize how much screen presence Batista has. He's pretty imposing.
And oh, I don't think I've heard him speak. I mean, I imagine Vin Diesel's just gonna do his Iron Giant voice.
Well, he's got 3 lines or 3 words you can say.
Oh, was that I am Groot?
Yeah, the character canonically says "I am Groot." He might say more in this. I don't know, but I'll be kind of annoyed if he does. I like the fact that Groot and Rocket Raccoon appear to be like the 2 men knowing each other going into this, and everyone else is separate. I like the idea of like a wise talking raccoon and a silent tree man. That's a funny that amuses me.
Sure, I'm trying to think of any examples that are like that from other stuff.
There must be. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
I can't think of any though.
Like twins or something.
What, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah,
Danny DeVito
DeVito.
thing?
He was the fast talking one.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was going, yes, I know. We are brothers. I think that was all he said in that movie.
I guess you could say that like Poison Ivy and Bane in Batman and Robin were that, because he was the silent muscle and she was like the witty one.
That's true.
Uma
That's true.
Thurman.
God, fuck.
So
That would
weird
be
to
sick.
think that that's Uma Thurman.
I was watching House of Cards, and Joel Schumacher came up as one of the directors of one of the episodes, and
really?
I just thought, wow, what a fucking difference in in choice of like directing. Sorry, wow, I fucked that sentence up. But yeah, what a difference in job. Directing a sort of political
I guess he's trying
thriller
to distance. Don't know.
But in-
Stylistically change.
in some ways, you know, Batman is a political thriller, sort of. Probably
Well,
not.
he's a Republican wet dream. I guess you could say it like that. Just a vigilante bastard who can beat the police up and beat up crime.
Speaking of people getting beaten up, what about Watch Dogs? Ubisoft pulling out the road. That didn't work. Anyway, yeah. So
Oh,
what
isn't
about
the guy in Watch Dogs kind of a vigilante? I mean,
he was,
strikes me as
but
like a.
I was gonna tackle it from the perspective of Ubisoft beating up their consumer.
Oh,
by,
well, they are. They've
You know,
they've pulled the rug from under us,
Exactly.
making us be pretty injured. But yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah. Oh
the
no,
the watch.
you know, they've ruined something that I haven't even paid money for yet. Does you make any sense? Like, there's no reason to be angry.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at least the thing with like, because people are calling foul on this, because the thing is, the Watch Dogs, the trailers that have come out now appear to be significantly lower quality than the ones we saw in 2011, no,
Yeah.
2012 and 13. And I mean, people are calling foul on the level of Colonial Marines, but the thing is that Colonial Marines, people had bought Colonial Marines before the review embargo was listed, and people could actually say that it was terrible.
Yeah.
This game hasn't come out yet, and we've still got like 2 months, and no one's pre-ordered it, I don't think. And if you can get your money back.
Yeah, and Colonial Marines was crap because it was also a bad game.
Yeah, and they
Whereas, I mean,
lied.
like, you know, I mean, it's Ubisoft. I mean, although they're a big company, kind of like Activision and EA, they have that sort of like powerhouse kind of like game pumping out. But Ubisoft are pretty fucking safe when it comes to making good games. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the Assassin's Creed series and Splinter Cell and, you know, most of the Tom Clancy games are pretty damn good. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I think
they
Ubisoft's
know
got
what they're
kind
doing.
of
Yeah.
Ubisoft's got kind of like the Rocksteady thing. Like I think they're loath to put out bad games most of the time.
Yeah. So I mean I trust that, you know, they've hired good people, and yeah, so what, it looks a bit worse, but Christ, it's not the fucking end of the
Yeah.
world.
I mean, if the scope of what they're aiming for, like
Yeah.
if they had to sacrifice the graphics to achieve what they wanted to achieve in terms of that world and like the hacking
Fine.
and stuff, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I mean,
If
yeah,
anything,
as long as it's
it'll keep my computer relevant for a few more years.
well, as long as it's a big organic world where you can hack all the time, and they have said, all right, let's not spend time working on like making it run at a good frame rate because the graphics need to look, oh my fucking god, there's a wind system and the coat needs to blow a bit
Yeah.
nicer. Like, let's make it good so the basic concept of you can hack anything actually works, because that would be nice.
Now, what I don't approve of is the Ubisoft PR woman, sorry, saying that she thinks the graphics look fine, because that is whitewashing, and they obviously have changed, and I feel Ubisoft should probably acknowledge that, because I'm fine with them saying that, admitting it, but they clearly don't want to. I feel. I mean, obviously this is a few days old, but a lot still needs to come out about it. But I don't know. I feel that they probably should have just either been silent or came out and said what had actually happened.
Possibly, but then again, like, what do you expect her to say? Like,
Oh yeah, she can't. She has to say positive things.
I mean, yeah, she has to say, yeah, they look. I mean, she said they look fine. Like, she didn't say they look as good. Did
I
she?
guess.
Or did she say,
No,
yeah, they look pretty good?
I think she said she didn't know. I thought she said she didn't notice a change or something.
Well, that's bollocks. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, now she's just.
Sorry, I think I missed what. I mean, yeah, I can't remember exactly.
But if she said exactly, they look all right, I'd be like, yeah, no, I agree.
No, yeah, that wouldn't be a cause for concern or for outrage. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good. It's just something that's it's just one of the. I mean, it's an understandable thing, because like with the amount of kind of pre-rendered cutscenes you can make, etc., you can fake a game to look better than it is.
Yeah.
And as we found out from Colonial Marines, you can apparently silence the reviewing core long enough for that to go for people to buy it. For a substantial amount of people
but do you know what? If there's a review embargo, don't buy it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wait a day. Wait a few days. I mean, Christ, if yeah, I mean, that's your review right there.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a review embargo. Oh, it's crap then.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single example where like
where anyone would ever want to, unless they were trying to like keep a surprise. And even then, like things like the Stanley Parable, if there is a surprise in it, then and it's a good enough surprise, then people will just not say it.
Yeah, and I mean GTA 5, even GTA 5 had like before release reviews. I think the only one that didn't was Max. I don't think Max Payne 3 did, actually, which was weird. Oh no, it did. No, what am I talking about? All right, I've never seen a good game that had that.
Yeah,
but
no,
I've seen plenty of shitty games that definitely had that. But
yeah, I think it's just once bitten, twice shy, and people are willing to.
But they're not even connected.
Gamers are pretty entitled. If something has been promised to them and they're not going to get it, they'll get pretty angry.
Well, I think yeah, it's just because it's an expensive hobby, and also because people get so invested in like all the little. Because with a movie, like the only thing movies are a lot about like the stories and characters, so there's not like you don't get the constant updates that you might do with a game. Which is
Yeah.
about little gameplay tweaks and stuff like that, and people
Less
go insane over that shit.
less time and money as well, because
Yeah.
obviously, like, if you're playing, because if there's a game that you want to play and you want to complete, but there is something really annoying about it, then you're going to be stuck with that annoying thing.
Exactly. But yeah, I think people comparing it to Colonial Marines are just retarded. There's no similarity in those companies.
Yeah,
Like
it's just
Gearbox is a little sleazy fucking company that makes a lot of, it's made Borderlands and stuff, but it's made some pretty fucking shitty games in the past.
Borderlands.
Like Christ, the fact that yeah, I know they didn't do most of the development, but yeah, they did release like they took on the project of Duke Nukem
Oh
forever and
yeah.
then just released it. It was like, guys, just I know you clearly just did that to make a quick buck, because there doesn't seem to be any reason to take on that project and all that fucking shit. And then they seem to have they used Colonial Marine money, I think, to produce Borderlands 1, didn't they? And then they even Sega gave them Colonial Marines, and then they gave someone else Colonial Marines while they worked on Borderlands.
Jesus,
They're a company that don't really give a shit sometimes about
that's
what they're making.
unscrupulous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whereas I'm pretty sure Ubisoft would never just pass it on to another company, because
Yeah.
Ubisoft are have 1,000-man teams, they're the only ones that can handle their games.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
the internet being the internet, really. Trying. I had another point to add, but down to bits there. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Ubisoft good, Gearbox bad.
So
Don't
speaking
don't
of
go on.
oh no, I was gonna move on to Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, that's a natural progression. Go for it.
Oh yeah, so not anything in particular. Just we were lamenting earlier about the sadness that Tomb Raider sold 6 million copies, and that was seen as a commercial failure.
Yeah,
Did
because
they say?
of on the weekend sales, it seems like people publishers just seem to get very annoyed that their games don't sell like COD did on the weekend, but they're different. Like the reason COD sells on the weekend, and it's no secret, is just because people want to get good at the multiplayer quickly,
Yeah.
and they want to be the first out the gate. And it's like COD is a water cooler kind of experience thing. You play it because all your dude bro friends are playing it, and I don't. I you can't compare Tomb Raider to that, and the fact Tomb Raider has done really well, and it did really well over time, is good. It's really good, and I hope the industry takes note of this, because they really need to.
Well, exactly. I mean, yeah, and buying Tomb Raider early to become good at the Tomb Raider multiplayer is like becoming best at the shit eating contest. It's good.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. You're the only one taking part.
I do.
Yeah, but it couldn't have done that badly. Fuck, it got another fucking edition release for next gen consoles. Oh, by the way, is this 6 million including them as well?
I don't know. I was just considering that as you were saying that, and I do not know.
Because that must have
would
bloody well.
assume so.
I have no idea who would
I
buy that game twice.
I don't feel. I mean, even with Steam sales, I don't assume it just accumulated, without re-releases. I don't know.
Okay.
AAA game development's got really weird at the moment though. Because did you hear Ken Levine?
Yeah, he
tore up BioShock Infinite Studio.
Yeah.
To focus on a smaller, more compact, more mobile studio.
That's fine though.
No, it's good, but it's just it's weird that people seem to be leaving AAA gaming now.
Well, I think he's leaving AAA gaming just because, when he makes a game, he's behind each one, because his company don't produce them a lot. They produce one game, and if it's a Ken Levine game, Ken Levine is completely behind it. It's not like Naughty Dog where they make 2 games each time and they get one person to handle each one. So I reckon, and Ken Levine, the BioShock Infinite development time was ages, so it was probably just him saying, I want to spend more time with my family and not have to be looking over the project each time. It's a shame he had to fire so many people.
He had to make such a big game, and that all the different arms of his company or his studio were working different things, different times, and it was probably a lot to manage. And he probably doesn't want that on a very basic level. And also Ken Levine, I mean, once again, I don't like personifying people more than they're worth, but he seems to be kind of more of the old school visionary, or not, he's an ideas man seemingly. He has nice ideas, and I think he wants to be able to communicate those ideas to, say, maybe 100 people rather than 12, 500.
Well, it's true. I mean, and also BioShock Infinite, I think for a game story, I thought it was really brave and it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But what I found most amazing about it was that story was in a AAA first-person shooter, whereas you could probably have put that game, that idea, and that story in another genre and made it smaller, and it probably wouldn't have lost anything. So if he's an ideas man, it makes sense to not be hedging like hundreds of millions of dollars
Because that's the
into
thing.
your ridiculous idea. You may as
Because
well,
one of the
make it small.
main Bioshock issues was that, like, at one point it had a multiplayer. Because, like we were saying earlier, all games need to have a multiplayer, apparently. And so now if because of being in a smaller studio, he doesn't have to work with those kind of constrictions, because that wasted a lot of Bioshock time. Like, if
I
he can
think
get rid of that, then that's good.
I think though he was actually experimenting with multiplayer because he wanted to.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd have thought so. Like,
I don't know.
I don't think he really had anyone breathing down his neck.
I think maybe, I don't know. It really depends. I mean, we don't know enough about it, but I would say it's more, judging from what I've seen from these games, then multiplayer does seem like the kind of thing that gets thrust upon you.
Possibly. I'm not sure how it works because I don't really know who published it or who he had to answer to.
But it's 2K, isn't it? Bioshock.
Possibly. I'm not really sure what 2K are like.
No idea really. But
didn't Rockstar Games used to like publish their stuff with 2K and then they left?
Maybe.
Now they can self-publish. I thought so. I don't know why I'm thinking that though. I believe so. But I'm not sure. But,
no idea. Sorry.
No idea. Anyway,
you've made your own assumption there. I can't verify it.
Oh well, I hope that's not made up. But
yeah, no. I mean, either way, it's indicative of the trend of AAA gaming being perhaps too expensive for even the people making it.
Yeah. Well, I think the Tomb Raider multiplayer is a pretty good example of that. I can't imagine anyone really got behind that and gave a shit. Like yeah, that's why I think like Uncharted and Last of Us multiplayers are just such a nice little surprise, because it's like, oh, you could have just made that a single player only, but they've got really good multiplayer, thanks. Whereas Tomb Raider is just completely shoved in. Not that I like fucking love Tomb Raider anyway. I don't really get what everyone's on about when they like praise it.
I thought it was a good game. I mean, I agree with your point that you made earlier. That,
Did you play it? Did you play it?
Yeah, I played it now.
Oh,
It was on
do
sale.
you want to talk about Tomb Raider?
We can talk about it briefly. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the kind of semi-lesbian tones were pretty interesting, and I thought that, like you, I agree that Miss Pratchett is a bit overrated by the Women's Circle Jerk Society.
Yeah, I thought all of everything any character said was crap.
Yeah, basically. I know. I mean, I think that. I think the characters, some of the characters were right. No, I mean, some of what they said was okay.
I mean, it was just like she had like, oh, there was the angry black lady who wasn't like gonna let her get away with shit, and then there was like I'm the Hawaiian, guy who's like, there's something wrong with this island, and then there was like, oh, we're all like, somebody would say something like, if you're in like a group of intellectuals who study history and none of them have come across supernaturalness before, and one of them says, oh, like somebody was like, oh, this island's cursed. And somebody else goes, no, that's clearly bullshit because we're fucking scientists and we never jump to those conclusions. And then somebody says, but legend comes from something. And then the really scientific one goes, yeah, maybe you're right. Who the fuck speaks for that? If anyone said that, they'd be laughed out of the room.
Yeah, I agree that her writing style, but what I mean is it could
have been done in a cool way, but it wasn't. It was said like somebody makes a vague sort of sentence, and everyone goes, "Oh, maybe you're right." It's like with no evidence.
Yeah, but I suppose my objection was that I feel that like Lara's character wasn't that bad. Like some of the characters were okay.
She was so fucking boring. Name one interesting thing she did. Yeah, she killed people and she went through shit, but the next fucking place she was going, "You bastards." It was just like a fucking drama student stuck on an island. It was pathetic. Like the original Tomb Raider, she was like pretty, she had big old tits and stuff. That was the idea. But
well, I think she's younger now, isn't she? She hasn't. I believe this is the experience that made that Lara Croft 1 through 5 protagonist so messed up and so willing to kill everything.
But I didn't at all believe that she was really going through anything or like.
Oh no! I mean, there was definitely some, as I hate to use the term, ludonarrative dissonance in terms of what was going on between her action of not wanting to kill people and her mowing down of an entire island.
True. Well, she was just nice and inoffensive. Like at least the Tomb Raider in the first one was like she'd had a shitty childhood and she was a bit of a bitch. Like I'd take being a fucking bitch over like someone who's just, oh, you silly fools.
Well, hopefully she'll evolve as a character in whatever next one there is.
I mean, I'm just not talking about that. I thought the game itself was like exploring was pretty dull and.
Did you not like it at all?
Well, it was just like you leap onto this, you leap onto that.
I thought it was an alright game. Like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
No, it was fine. It was fine. I think I went into it hearing it was amazing, and then it was like after the 7th time that I was sliding down my arse on a hill, like shooting stuff out the way, I was like, yeah, I get it. You have two things. You have walking around, platforming, shooting, and then sliding on your ass down a hill.
And I see. I think I heard from some very specific people that it was good, and I then adjusted my expectation to what I knew they thought was good.
Fair enough.
And I wasn't disappointed.
I just thought it was pretty fucking overrated.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not like GOTY or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I one of the problems as well was I was playing it with someone, so it was like we were probably being a lot more piss-takey about the shittiness.
Yeah, that's one thing. I did play it alone, and it's kind of like some of the bits are quite visceral when you're alone. Like when the guy jumps out, that whole first bit where the guy jumps out at you and he's chasing you and stuff, and you're crawling through the mud.
Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, there weren't bad bits.
When you're on your own, you're like, oh, that guy's pretty creepy.
And then there was, I love the bit that was like supposed to be, there was the like rape scene.
Oh,
was
yeah.
Like, oh no, and then but if you fail it, you die.
Yeah, it's not rape.
What? They're gonna rape the corpse? Fine, you can't really rape a corpse. I mean, she's dead. Oh well. How is that controversial?
Well, what the guy was trying to do, I think, was add a bit of gravity to the situation. But what it came out with was the lobby went, oh, you can't, rape is male power. But like you can like rape is a thing that happens, and you can deal with it in a story sensibly. And they might have tried to do that, but they clearly terrified them into not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean,
not that I need like the death sequence to go on for like 2 hours of just this horrendous treatment of Lara Croft, and then in the end she's just put out of her misery, and then it says, "Game over. Would you like to retry from the last checkpoint?"
I would be very upset at that.
I don't know if I'd watch the whole thing. I might make a sandwich or something. Maybe like I might like have something on the other side, like flick back and forth, like oh she's not done yet.
Yeah, I'd get out the Game Boy.
Exactly.
Play some Tetris.
Oh Christ! But yeah, I mean, yeah, overall fine. I mean, I don't know who's buying it again for the definitive edition.
Like, yeah, I mean, I guess lots of people who couldn't buy it the first time or wanted more. I guess the Steam sales probably contributed quite a lot to that.
Yeah, true. I mean,
it went down to like £5. That's
I bought it when it was £5.
Yeah, me too.
That's why it wasn't such a loss. I wasn't annoyed. But there was one of those things that it was there was this guy. It's a review Tech USA, and he reviews he reviews stuff. He actually I'm becoming one of those people who references people and then talks about them behind their back on the internet.
Well, hopefully Review Tech USA will come here and be like, oh, he's going to talk about me, and then we'll be shattered when you talk about him.
As fine as he is, he made one of those ridiculous points. And I've seen another few people that like the definitive edition of Tomb Raider is the fraud edition.
Right.
But, well, just because literally it's a re-release with a few like game engine tweaks. But, I mean, there's no gameplay tweaks. It's just, it wasn't like any content was being held back. It was just, it has a nicer, like, the trees blow around a bit more. And he was like,
this is the hair physics.
Yeah, it's
all
like,
the detail.
This is a fraud edition. It's like, no, it's not. I mean, even if it is, so, like, you haven't lost anything. You could, like, I don't feel sad.
You either own the game, or the version that's been released isn't good enough for you to warrant purchasing. Either way, you've lost nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't feel sad that I'm losing out. That like, yeah, even on the PC version, like I assume if they ever bring the definitive edition to the PC version, it will look nicer and have like the few engine tweaks that they did in the PS4 version. But I mean, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Before we leave video games to cross over onto our final topics, which is back to movies, then I just want to say that as of this day, March the 9th, 2014, then Rockstar still has not announced any word of a Grand Theft Auto 5 port to PC. Fuck you, Rockstar.
Not fuck them. Buy one of the consoles that it's on.
Never.
You weren't upset about Red Dead Redemption, and that was way better than GTA 5.
I told you I was upset about Red Dead Redemption.
Okay, I don't remember this.
Fair enough. You even offered me to play it around yours.
Well, who have done? It's really bloody good.
Yeah, it is really good, and I'll never get to play it because fuck you, Rockstar. Anyway,
Godzilla. I still actually have to spend some time on GTA Online.
Yeah,
it seems broken. it seems well. Apparently, it's good with friends. I mean, I imagine that, but apparently, it's
You don't
pretty.
have friends.
Well, I don't have anyone else who owns a PS3 for some reason. There's no one. But
Well, they
I mean,
either live with you and use your PS3, or they don't own a PS3.
this isn't even like the olden days where like the PS3 was expensive and no one had one. It's like the
Yeah, they're
PS3.
like 100 quid now.
Yeah, more PS3 owners than Xbox 360 owners. It's like no. I just don't think many people I know play games.
How sad.
Yeah, but like not just PC games, just like like most people I know stopped playing games when they were kids. I just find that really weird. Like,
That's awful.
but they're not for children. A lot of them, especially not GTA. Fuck me. Although
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, to be fair, GTA sold so many copies in this country. You'd think one of the people you knew owned it. Statistically,
Well,
it's likely.
exactly.
Maybe you just haven't talked to them about it.
Maybe, but
But yeah, I yelled Godzilla a while back, and to make me not look like an idiot, we're going to talk about Godzilla now.
oh shit, yeah, sorry, God.
That's fine.
But,
So yeah, Godzilla's being remade for the second time, I guess.
yeah,
there
but
was
this time it's being remade well.
because there was Jean Reno.
Yeah, that was
handsome hunk of a man.
That was Roland Emmerich. That one.
Yeah.
That was oh, Jesus Christ! I
It's
still
weird.
haven't seen a Shakespeare movie.
Is it good? Wait, there's a what?
Yeah, he made a Shakespeare movie called Anonymous. It's like who
Oh,
wrote
that
the
thing.
Shakespeare plays?
Was
I
that
never
him?
watched it. Yeah,
I wanted to watch that.
Yeah, well, I never caught it in the cinema. I don't know, but it sounded fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
sounds so stupid. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, so it's. I mean, the last, as we know, the kaiju movie, Unusual Creature movie, hasn't been popular of late, really. I mean, the last one we had was Pacific Rim, which obviously sold really well, especially in the Asian regions. But I mean, I think was significantly lacking in terms of actually being a interesting movie. Like it was a fun movie, but it wasn't good.
Well, the thing about Godzilla, like Pacific Rim, for me, I know we watched it together and you fucking hated all of the dialogue scenes, but
It was cringeworthy.
they were cringeworthy, but I was
Even
enjoying
Will
them
Arnett, or whatever he's called.
Well,
Not
I was
Will
enjoying them because they were really funny. But then it would go to like ridiculous monsters fighting. I was like, wow, I've never seen anything on that scale.
That was really good.
That's amazing. So hopefully, I mean, from what I've seen with Bryan Cranston, like I doubt Bryan Cranston would like pick a bad project. And since it's made by the guy that made Monsters, and Monsters was that same thing, it was like a nice little human
is
drama.
it Monsters guy?
It's Monsters guy, so it's a nice little human drama with the backdrop of massive monsters. And hopefully, if we can do both that shit, amazing CGI moments combined with
The trailer really didn't portray that it was him.
yeah, exactly. Well, it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't need like big sort of a big drama that's like, oh my god, this is the most moving thing I've ever seen. But as long as I can competently work out that, wow, these people are really scared of this big old monster that's tearing everything apart. It's like, good. That's fine then.
Me and the site's new edition, Butler, as I guess I'll be referring to him as, we're talking about the Kaiju movie, and we were talking about how I don't really feel a good one because, like, obviously Godzilla, etc., was made in like Japan in the 50s because nuclear destruction, etc., because it was about the insecurities of humanity and how we weren't the biggest thing on the planet or whatever. And like, I feel that at this point in humanity's development, with the Cold War over, etc., we have just too much stuff to fight Godzilla with now, and I think you've got to scale up Godzilla to a significant degree, and I don't really feel like he has as much meaning anymore in terms of being a threat.
Do you know what though? Having watched that early trailer of people going against Godzilla, like I don't think Godzilla has to be like massive or like the scariest thing ever, but I think as soon as he becomes seemingly unkillable, like it's a slow death. Like you can be in like, he can attack LA and you can be in New York. And the scary thing isn't that, oh my god, he can swallow the world in one bite. It's that he's eventually coming.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that Pacific Rim did quite well, I feel. Because it wasn't even dialogue really. It was just the like when they were building the wall, and it wasn't the idea that each kaiju was a big deal because they were killing them. It was the fact that there were more of them and they were struggling to kill them.
Yeah.
And it was a slow decay, I suppose you'd say.
I don't think anyone in that film was like particularly like taking their performance seriously to carry that. Oh my god!
No one was able to portray that sense, but I kind of got it from the subtext.
yeah. Well, it's sort of like it's just you've got to show like how much people are losing, and I think the thing with
Bryan Cranston can definitely do a losing battle quite well, so maybe
he definitely can. And also, like the hard thing to do, especially, is like we're so like you'll be so oversaturated with just explosions, and like the amazing thing, I hope he pulls this off, and he kind of did in that first trailer, but it's just when you're watching it, you have to feel that, like, just because it has to make you feel as if you're there, and like really like give you the gravity of the situation, because that's the thing with Pacific Rim, like all the monsters are like bouncing around and there are people running off going ah, but like
Yeah.
if you were there standing underneath Godzilla, you have to think, oh my fucking god, how scared would you be?
Yeah.
Which is a very difficult thing to pull off with CGI, because obviously you're just like being like hit with, look at the big monster, look at the big monster, but they don't really and like there's the screaming people, but I really hope he can pull off that feeling of just how terrifying it would be to live in a world with Godzilla.
Yeah. Well,
And if he pulls it off, then I'm sold. You know?
do you feel that monsters? Because like I saw monsters with about 5 people, I think,
Yeah.
and like I believe we were split like 2 to 3 on whether we found the scenes of the monster in the monsters plural in to
Yeah.
be have any gravitas, to have any kind of impact. Because I personally felt that they portrayed really well, and that the scenes with them in was genuinely scary because you didn't know what those weird whale things could actually do.
Yeah.
But 2 people said
just
they just found it really silly, and I don't know. Did you? Which side were you on in the monster? Like, did he inspire awe in you that time?
I remember, yeah, I saw the actors like cowering in the undergrowth and being like, wow, that looks really scary.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, good, I agree.
he won me over with that. I mean,
Yeah.
near the end when like the monsters were mating, I was like, I can see what he's going for, but it's sort of changing the dynamic of how I'm supposed to be feeling about the monsters a little bit late.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
think that was a bit
oh,
out of
the
the blue.
monsters are actually peaceful beings, really nice. They're just confused. I guess that was what he was going for, but it was like that kind
Maybe?
of thing.
I don't know. I thought he was just trying to.
I
I
thought
thought
he
he
was
was
just
just
showing.
showing them in a non-threatening environment.
Yeah, I thought it was just they're just animals, and no one's the real enemy. It's just.
Oh, really? I
we-
thought it was. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess. I know.
Wait,
I just saw it as they're still tearing shit up, but they also like to. This is them not tearing shit up.
oh, I took a little bit more away from it than that.
Fair enough. I was clearly. I don't know, because I don't think it was portrayed as a kind of. Oh look, they're human too. Well, not human too. Oh
Yeah,
look, they're just
they're
going
just
about their
animals.
business, because their business is still pretty destructive.
Yeah, but that's just because they're walking around. There's people around them, like.
I guess.
But yeah, no, I thought Monsters was like, yeah, but the reason that sort of worked was just because he was following around 2 people.
Yeah.
Like, and that sort of, it was like your only frame of reference was everything just about that was just around those 2 people, so you didn't really know what was going around outside of that
Yeah.
sphere, so you had no context. Whereas in Godzilla, from what I've seen in the trailer, a lot of people are banging on about all the exposition, so it might be a little less personal, therefore a little less scary, and
Yeah.
might just turn into big monsters
Well, there appears to
taking
be a
over
lot
the
of
world.
helicopters and stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I feel that going back to monsters quickly, I feel that he isn't the most subtle when it comes to dialogue. Like his whole Mexico wall thing was really stupid. Like, do you remember that, where they're trying to get over the wall that they built out to keep them out, and it's almost like we're the ones trying to be kept out, and it's like, oh look, it's an immigration
Oh,
thing.
yeah, kind
Like
of.
that came out of nowhere for like the
Yeah.
middle half of the film.
Man, I don't remember Monsters too well. I do remember there was a big room in Mexico, and
Yeah.
I mean, at least he handled like immigration better than Machete did.
I think Machete handles immigration masterfully,
It was
considering
just open borders.
considering what it set out to do. I mean,
I know Machete didn't really have an idea. It was just open
No.
borders, man. Let's make the world.
I think it was that we're all human. We all bleed the same. I think.
But we definitely don't.
Well,
There's
no,
no-
everyone
there's
who's
no-
not Danny Trejo bleeds significantly more.
Exactly.
That's oh man, Machete 2's that's.
Oh, I thought you said we all
Yes.
believe the same. Sorry, I
No.
didn't hear we all bleed.
Bleed.
Yeah, no, oh, yeah, we do all bleed. Yeah, no, sorry, of course.
No, yeah, I was just, but yeah, I think that was the only thing that I could take away that Robert Rodriguez was trying to tell me in that film.
Plus, Jessica Alba's CGI'd body looked all right. That
Got
was
CGI.
Yeah, she has a no nudity clause in her contract.
Oh.
I don't know what a naked body of Jessica Alba not being real and a naked body of it being real really changes, because as far as I'm concerned, I've still seen Jessica Alba naked.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like the whole Ellen Page taking offense at Ellen Page's naked Beyond Two Souls body being hacked.
The thing is, though, I understand hers, because she was like, "Oh, you guys promised me that this wasn't possible." That's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, did
now.
they? Sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, they didn't. They said there won't be any nudity. We'll only show bits of your body, and she was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then obviously you can hack it so you can look at it all. It's sort of like that takes on a completely different
I
sort
guess
of thing.
in the framework of the game, like in the experience of the game, they didn't show it. It just so happens that behind the scenes you could see it. No,
No,
I
true.
agree that they lied, but it's yeah. There's a slight difference. It's just it's something that could only occur in video games. It's not like
Yeah,
anyone can
exactly.
hack a movie scene.
God, I don't know why she picked Beyond Two Souls as her first movie game either.
Yeah, it's idiotic.
Just press X to see the rest of
It's
the
because
game.
people believe his lies that he's like the cross section of movies and games.
Yeah, I find it astounding. Like I mean, he's not even a good writer. Like
No,
that's
he's
what's
not. He's
worse.
fucking awful.
He's he's like when
I think I wrote better.
exactly. I was playing Last of Us, and I was like, wow, for all the fucking David Cage's shit, this is just better than that. It's better storytelling, and it blends games and movies better. Like,
Yeah.
wow, way better. Just
Isn't that getting a movie?
yes, it is. I have no idea why.
Yeah, that's another pointless one right there.
Yeah.
Because there's been because like Last of Us has very specific callbacks to other movies. And it's not a. I mean,
Well,
no, I mean it's a good game, but it's not like a unique property particularly. Like
I think it's got some like nicely original gameplay, but for the most part, it blends. It's got
It's not
so
like
much.
distinctive. Like I'm trying to say this without saying denying it as a property. Like it is good and it is cool, but it's not like making a Ratchet and Clank. It's not like like a it doesn't have a.
It's not like the, yeah. It's the
Yeah,
most.
it
It's
looks
not
like
the most
Walking
original
Dead. It
one.
looks like any other. It looks like Ellen Page. It looks like any other
But I
existing movie property.
well, true. But what it does well is it's got two solid characters, and it just makes everything follow on from like their character motivations, and
Yeah.
it's incredibly well written. I know you haven't. Oh no, you've seen me play
I
it.
watched you play like the first 5 hours
That's
of it.
It's incredibly well done. But
Yeah,
the
it's good. But what I mean is, I don't feel
yeah. Well, the
it
thing.
needs to be a film.
Well, yeah, no, it doesn't. And the thing about it is, from I've been thinking recently. I might have told you about this. I wrote a little thing about this, but for time investment to actually study people, I think movies are probably the worst like sort of form of storytelling.
Mm.
Just because Last of Us it's not just in the cutscenes, it's in the moment to moments where like they're talking and they're chatting or like they're in danger and they're yelling at each other. Like you're getting constant character development and like feedback of like who they are, and
Yeah.
you've got at least like 20 hours of that. Whereas in a film, you've got to boil everything down. I'm just not sure how you could make a better exploration of those two in a movie than you could in a game. It's one of those weird ones. Like obviously, The Wolf of Wall Street would always work better as a movie because what would the gameplay of The Wolf of Wall Street be? It would be really fucking odd. But yeah, I
You
don't.
could make it work, kind of. I
You
guess.
could if you'd
But
have to try really bloody hard.
yeah.
But it's just one of those things like The Last of Us. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a movie solely because we've seen movies like that before, and you just wouldn't do a good of a job.
Yeah, it would just be like
Yeah.
The Road, but slightly more action packed.
Yeah, possibly.
Like yeah, no, he's like one of those. Yeah, I guess what I was going for was that you get a significant amount of time investment into them that you wouldn't in a film.
Exactly.
Very strange.
Very strange.
I guess it's just oh look, a popular. It's weird that also that Uncharted didn't get it before Last of Us. Like I would definitely watch I've seen like maybe an hour of Uncharted live gameplay, and I would watch an Uncharted movie way more than a Last of Us movie.
No, true. Well, so would I. I think David O. Russell was going to handle it at first, but
Oh, is it actually on the cars? Sure.
no, it fell through. I think probably because he got bored of it, but also because his ideas were very fucking strange. Like he was going to have like Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro as like uncles. It made no sense.
That's amazing.
You'll have to find the
I
original
want that
stuff.
to happen.
I'm not sure how much of it was true, but it was like this is fucking odd. I don't even know what. Plus, Mark Wahlberg was going to play Nathan Drake, and it was like I'm not watching this
really?
film. I just,
Fair enough.
I
Well, he
just
was good in Painting Game, and he was good in The Departed.
I think he was pretty crap in The Departed. Like, what did he do?
Really?
He just went, "You fucking cud." Yeah, I'm just gonna say "cud" for ages.
I
and
thought
then
he
I'm
had a
just
pretty good character, like as like the secretary or whatever of Martin Freeman, was it? No, what's the guy's called? Fuck, what's the old guy called?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. As like the secretary guy of Martin Sheen. I thought he was really, really good.
I still think outside of comedy, Mark Wahlberg is a terrible fucking actor.
Fair enough. I think The Departed is the one thing he's been good in, but maybe I misjudged it. Maybe he was just surrounded by good people.
Having watched it again, it just seemed like his performance was just swearing, and it was like I think most people could probably do this.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Poor Mark Wahlberg.
Not
He
Paul Mark Wahlberg. He's had a
he
great time.
failed at rap or whatever the fuck Marky Mark and the Funk Bunch was. And
I
now
thought he
he's
was pretty fucking good at rap, wasn't he? Well, he
oh
was.
like
His music was crap, but he certainly wasn't like he
good
didn't do badly.
vibrations. I don't know. Do you remember Marky Mark and the Funk Bunch? I wouldn't say it was
I don't, but I do remember.
timeless.
But the fact we know about him shows he didn't do badly.
I guess.
You know.
But yeah, I mean, like there appears to be a current trend at the moment with like the Warcraft movie, the Minecraft movie, etc. That video games are the new hot property to make original properties out of
I think
that
people have
aren't
been saying
original.
this for ages, though, haven't they? Like, that whole there was that Max Payne Hitman moment where like suddenly loads of video games were being turned into films.
Yeah, I guess it's happened before, but I feel like there's a sustained effort now. Like I seem to hear about one every month that's being made.
True. Well,
I'm still waiting for the Ratchet and Clank one to come actually out. I'm gonna watch that for sure.
So am I. 2015. And the good thing is, like, that's like Ratchet and Clank sort of is already like works as a movie. It's a buddy cop thing.
Yeah.
And it's got the same writer, so it's gonna have that. You know what? It actually might be worse because, in all fairness, like people are excited about it having the same writer from the games of the film. But if you think about it, this would be like the sixth, seventh sequel. It would be like watching Ratchet and Clank 7. Like the seventh iteration of a comedy isn't funny because
True.
all the jokes have been done. So it's probably going to be crap because people, but it won't be because no one tried hard. It'll be just the guy saying, "Look, I'm just out of shit. Like, I
I'll let
can't
you
keep
into a
doing this."
thing. I've only ever watched Ratchet and Clank. I've only ever watched people play it. And one
Yeah.
thing I did notice is that like the amount of dialogue that they repeat, because it's the same thing. They like have dialogue while they're like roaming around the universe and stuff. But I reckon condensed into 2 hours, that's probably the perfect amount of quality dialogue that was ever in a Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel that it might just work
Yeah,
to the maximum efficiency.
exactly.
But yeah, it's an odd trend, but one that I do not feel will go away anytime soon. I mean, has there been anything that you'd claim to be a really great video game movie so far?
Christ.
I can't really think of one.
Fuck. I mean, a Tomb Raider might be the best one I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, shit, true. Gerald Butler, yes.
There's probably one I've forgotten about though. There's probably like some really
Prince of
strange.
Persia?
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that was awful.
Like when you can't like outdo the story and characters of a game. Like most people would say that like video game like sort of production, especially in their storytelling, has sort of gotten better, but mostly because of like just the technologies being better. But
I said
like
Street Fighter movie.
Yeah,
I would
like
definitely claim that the Street Fighter movie was a zenith. Oh my god! It's just
You know what? Final Fantasy. I enjoyed Spirits Within.
What
Far
about the
quite
other
anyone
one?
else said.
No, Spirits Within was the one I'm talking about. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was the interesting one.
Yeah.
The
No,
other one was the weird one.
That was the big CGI one. That big sort of like.
No, I'm talking about was Spirits Within which was the one that has Cloud and that in it.
Oh man, no, that's like Advent Children.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry. Did you say you liked Spirits Within?
I like Spirits Within.
Fair enough.
I watched it a long time ago, but it was
it was thoroughly unforgettable. Like I barely remember anything about it.
But I don't
shit!
know.
They're making a Need for Speed film. Isn't that out already? I'd completely forgotten about that.
That's true.
Jesse's in it.
That's just gonna be like, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Bryan Cranston's doing like Godzilla and he's doing Need for Speed. It's like they've both chosen like the biggest budget thing they could. I think, but then again, like Need for Speed is like, it's gotta have cars. It's Fast and Furious now that Mr. Walker's unfortunately gone.
Yeah.
We probably won't get another Need for Speed movie. Why is Paul Walker coming up so much? I've never spoken about him ever, and now he's coming up twice by accident.
Before, and then bang.
I've never spoken about him in my life before.
Oh Jesus!
He's one of those like just actors who's like, yeah, he was alright. That's not me talking about him as a person either. It's just as an actor and his legacy. It's a pretty forgettable one.
I know that obviously there's the Assassin's Creed of Michael Fassbender on the cards. I figure we might as well wrap this up with just video game movies as we move on to this.
Fair enough.
And obviously the Resident Evil franchise is a
that's long running as well. Like, that's gonna have a 5th movie soon.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, like all I can really think of is Hideo Kojima obviously wants to make a Metal Gear movie.
Don't know why. Like,
because he's always wanted. He's like
he wants
he's
to
like
make
Cage
movies.
in that sense that you can tell he's always really wanted to just write books and make movies.
Yeah.
Like you saw the other day that he was annoyed that he didn't make Breaking Bad. Did you hear about this?
Who? Hideo Kojima?
Yeah, it was like a really slow news day. I think it was like Hideo Kojima annoyed he didn't come up with the idea for Breaking Bad. And like, is that news?
No,
I mean, I'm
that's
annoyed
just...
I didn't come up with tons of ideas.
I'm annoyed I never wrote The Great Gatsby.
You
God,
wrote it or read it?
wrote it.
Yeah.
If I could have written that book 80 years ago, oh God, think where I'd
Exactly.
be now.
Like, I'm really fucking furious I didn't write Angry Birds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not news.
But yeah, I mean, because other than Metal Gear, like literally the only thing I can think of is, do you remember Heavenly Sword? Like, they're one of the very first PS3 games.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is getting a movie as well. Like
Fuck.
it's just
That barely,
very
you know.
weird selection of movies that are getting made.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it's just people throwing everything at the wall. These are like pre-production rumors where like someone basically goes into someone's office and it's like, "Do you want to make this?" And they go, "Maybe." And then it becomes news and it's like it was never ever
True.
past like
That is
the
one of the
drawing
problems
board.
of like our internet culture is that
Yeah.
everything gets ruthless scrutiny.
Mm.
But yeah, so there we go. There's that's February, a very eventful but ultimately quite dour month.
Yeah.
And I've just
Personal.
been, I don't know, and I've started writing again. Hooray!
No. But anyway, everyone, there's that really. There's February.
Yeah.
You were there. We boiled it down. All the personal stories, all the triumphs, all the sadnesses,
All the failures.
and not a single mention of Ukraine, because
Hey.
you know, definitive edition of Tomb Raider's more
'Cause we're-
interesting than
Because
that.
we're in a Cold War now, but like fuck will you hear about it here?
But anyway,
Yeah.
thanks for
See you in March.
see you in March. Goodbye.
No